Hey, this is Bobby Holland with Bipper Media, and you are listening to SEO Secrets.
Hi everyone, this is Cesar with Bipper Media, and thank you for joining another exciting SEO Secrets podcast. Today, I want to talk about a question that we consistently get, and I'm sure if you're a small business or any business owner, you are thinking about it too, is how can I market myself, right? How do I expand my reach? How do people basically, when they think of my service, when they think of soda, they say Coca-Cola or Pepsi, how can you, that's hard to do. But still, you want to be, thought of, first thing that comes to mind for your business, let's say SEO, we want people to think Bipper Media, right? So how do you do that? Well, today we're going to talk about the 8 ways that content marketing services can benefit your business. So let's dive into it. Number 1 is reach your ideal customer. So when you create, one of the ways to do it is create high blog content, okay? Couple with using search engine optimization strategies. And this will basically help you because if you do it the right way, okay, let's say like our SEO services. We write a blog on SEO services, like, how can SEO help you? Or how can SEO help a dentist in our area or a dentist in general? Because we want to reach everybody globally. Well, we would have high quality content written on our blog, and we'll make sure that our SEO optimization strategies are implemented on the back end of that and on the front end of that. So when someone searches a dentist, dentist is looking for a website or looking for how to improve their SEO services, how to basically improve their visibility online, they'll fall on our blog, okay? And so that's one way to do it, is make sure that you're doing your SEO optimization and you're adding relevant keyword-driven content in order to appeal to the ideal customer. Number 2, demonstrate your value. One thing that we kind of, and I'm sure you wrestle with it if you're a small business is, you have a set price on something and then you I don't want to say you're desperate for a client, but let's be honest. If you are a small business and you need clients in order to feed your family, you're kind of desperate sometimes for clients, unless you're doing well and you're not really looking on to take any more clients. But for a lot of people, every single client they get, they need, right? So one thing is that I notice about value is we tend to devalue our services just to get a client. So never do that. I'm kind of going on a tangent because it's not exactly what this is about. But you also, besides your prices, and I talk about prices because it's very easy to start dropping prices just to get a client. And then now you're devaluing, to me, you're devaluing your service. I don't know if consumers really think about that. But for, the business owners, or I work for the company, you don't want to devalue so much. Like if you have a product that's, $500 a month and you give it to somebody for $99, 2 things that they're going to think is, well, you sold it to me for $99 instead of $500. So either your product is no good or you're trying to scam me for $400 extra dollars. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. So an experienced content marketing agency as ourselves will help focus on showing consumers your experience and your expertise in your specific business. And that's one way that you can demonstrate your value, because you always kind of want to think, they always say this, think of EAT, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. So establishing that within your blog content and within your branding and within your marketing helps basically consumers perceive your value. Number 3, generate brand awareness. Okay? This is tough. It's something that takes forever. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And basically it takes multiple impressions before consumers can become aware that your brand even exists. I feel like in our Athens area where our main office is, we're starting to be that brand company where people see us and immediately they're like, oh, we know what you do. Oh, Bipper Media does what. But even in a small city like Athens, I still run into people all the time and they're like, hey, what do you do? Or who do you work for? Bipper Media. Oh, what do you do? And then people who do know us, but they don't really know us, like they know our name. They're like, hey, you still work for Bipper Media? I'm like, no, it's Bipper. You would never say Zyper. You never say, lift up, close your Zyper. You would say your zipper. Again, there's a tangent. But you want to build your brand awareness. So take some time. And so if people don't really realize that you exist, they're just going to choose somebody that they do know. So make sure you do it. And one way that you can do it is by blog content. Try to keep appearing on customers, their social media, just online in general. That's one thing we hear a lot. They're like, oh, every time I do searches, I see you guys online. And that's another way you build awareness. That's how influencers do it. Influencers are consistently thinking of ways to get seen and what videos are going to catch on, because once they get a good video, 1, 2, or 3 times, they really start building that audience. But anybody that you see that's an influencer, it took them forever to build that. And so they just kept going and basically showing up on people's feed. I'm a big Seinfeld fan, so the one thing that I can give an example to this is, if you're a Seinfeld fan, George is trying to date this Marissa Tomei looking girl, and he goes on a date with her. She sells George. If you know the episode, she sells George a hat for the winter, and Elaine's like the CEO of the company of Peterman, but whatever. But she doesn't like him, but he keeps saying Costanza, like a little jingle, and then she ends up, every time she thinks of him, she hears that jingle. So I know that's probably not the best example, but basically you want to end up being on their timeline or their web all the time.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode. I wanted to take a quick break and invite you to get one of our free ebooks called the 25 Local SEO Tips to Growing Your Business. It's one of our most popular ebooks, and you can get it right now by clicking the link in the description. And that's it. Let's get back to the show.
Number 4, get ahead of your competitors. A strong SEO and content strategy that we were talking about could help you rank ahead of all your competitors on search results, on search engine results. And as you know, higher rankings is going to boost your credibility and encourage brand trust to grow. Because a lot of people, when they find you online and they see that you're 1 through 5, the big perception that I've noticed is people say, oh, you must be the best. Google considers you the ultimate best company, which is why I want to use you. And that's not necessarily true. And what I mean by best is they probably have the best SEO strategy involved, but that doesn't mean that they're the best company out there to use. They could be crooks for all you know. I don't think so. Please don't quote me on that. But if your online strategy is strong and you get found in the top 5, it is going to build a lot of trustworthiness. Number 5, try to attract more website traffic. Of course, that's easier said than done. So how can you do this? You can use personalization within your content marketing strategy to appeal to consumers, and appeal to them based on their distinct needs. And you'll have an easier time drawing them to your website as a result. So attract the website traffic. Number 6, build trust and loyalty. Retaining loyal customers. If you have a loyal customer base, and we're very blessed to have customers that have been with us for, a good decade, which is pretty unheard of in the SEO world. And that will help your reputation moving forward, because if people see that they've been with you for a decade, you're like, man, there's got to be a reason that this company's still sticking with them. So, and that's going to help. And if you have loyal clients, you'll get repeat sales, which can reduce your cost per acquisition. And it helps your return on investment, your ROI. Number 7 is try to educate and engage. You can also use content marketing to learn from your customers. Try to look at their comments. And whenever you get a comment, whether good or bad, you should respond to it. Potential clients like that. I like that. I like to see when people don't just respond to the good ones. They respond to the bad ones as well. And you're always going to have bad reviews. It's impossible to be like a 5.0 for the rest of your life. So it's okay to get a bad review. You don't want one, but as long as, if it is your fault, and as long as you admit it real quick, and you just, apologize, a lot of people take that for face value. So educate and engage. Take time to answer any questions that clients have or potential clients have online. And that's just a great way to market yourself even more. And number 8, I just touched on this. You want to improve your ROI, your return on investment. So with a good content strategy, that's going to help generate more leads, which eventually is just going to lead to sales, which obviously that's going to help your ROI. And the other way to improve your ROI is what we kind of already touched on, which is build trust and loyalty. If you can keep your clients happy, if you're doing good things for them, if you're not ripping them off, which I know you're not, but if you're putting their needs above yours, and you're not just looking at them as a sale, as money, you will build that trust and loyalty, and you'll be able to reduce your costs and have a lot more ROI. So just to recap real quick, the 8 ways content marketing services can benefit your business is, number one, you want to reach ideal customers. Number two, you want to demonstrate your value. Number three, you want to generate brand awareness. Number four, you want to get ahead of your competitors. Number five, you want to attract website traffic. Number six, you want to build trust and loyalty. Number seven, you want to educate and engage. And number eight, improve your ROI, which that will happen with the other seven. So, all right, thanks for listening, for putting up with me again. This was fun, and you'll hear from, stay tuned for another podcast next week. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of SEO Secrets.